morning, everyone, and welcome to today's live webinar. My name is Taylor Hempel, and I'm a marketing specialist here at ESE Spectrum. We're excited for you to join us during our session, StackVision 7.6 in a nutshell. Today, we have our very own senior QA engineer, Michelle Staneff, who will cover the latest updates and enhancements to StackVision. As we go through the webinar, we encourage you to place any questions you might have in the chat panel on the right-hand side of your screen. At the end of the session, Michelle will answer to her best of her ability. With that being said, let's begin.
Morning, everyone. I'm Michelle Staneff, and I'm going to be going over the new features and bug fixes in StackVision 7.6, which was released last Tuesday. Here are installation requirements. Here is our StackVision server timeline. And here's the StackVision client timeline. Microsoft will officially stop supporting Windows 10 on October 14th, 2025. We haven't made a final decision on when we will end support, and we welcome any feedback. You can email or call us by April 14th. Oops. And a big thank you to all our beta testers. If you don't have a test server and would like to participate in beta testing, we can set up a server for you using a backup of your database. And just to let you know, the user group and training dates for 2025 have been confirmed. It will be held at the Hilton Pensacola Beach, November 4th through the 6th. Training will be on November 4th and the user group on the 5th and 6th. We are still working on what training classes will be offered, but we should have those details soon. And as most of you already know, all customers are invited and welcome. There is no cost to attend, no matter what kind of maintenance agreement you have. However, the all-day training held the day before does involve a fee for Sentry customers. Fortress customers are free. If you have a suggestion for a presentation, we'd love to hear it. And we're always looking for customers to present. All ideas are welcome. Let's start with the new features. These are just a few of the many changes we've made in 7.6, so I won't be able to go into great detail on each one. If you have any further questions, please refer to the StackVision release notes in the customer community. DataRules is now configurable in StackStudio. You go to ProcessNow, DataRules, and select either configuration or parameter lists. Parameter lists are the parameters to which a rule set will be applied. You can configure data rules sets either in the table view, which is similar to the original configuration spreadsheet, or in the tab configuration area. Here is the table view. And here's the tabbed view, which is split onto 3 tabs: rule sets and overrides, evaluation settings, and action settings. StackVision services, core DAT file improvements after a StackStudio save. The new behavior in StackVision 7.6 is that the StackVision Manager will compare the new DAT files to the current DAT files after a change is saved in StackStudio. If there are changes between the files will be swapped out and the core will be restarted only if necessary. A core restart is only necessary when there are critical file changes. For now, this includes all file changes except changes to ProcessNow sequences, Condition Manager, Xscript, and Modbus. Configurations that do not require file changes include DataRules, EDR template, MATS configuration, and flatline configuration. Changes to these will not trigger a core restart. Here are some numbers showing the performance improvements with the StackStudio save after these core service changes. OPC Data Mapper. Separate live polling and backpolling offsets. In 7.6, offset and backpoll offset have been separated into two columns. When creating a new mapping, both offset and backpoll offset default to null. If you upgrade or import old CSV mapping files, the backpolling offset will inherit the offset values. OPC Data Manager Service. There is no functional change in how the service handles the live polling or backpolling offsets. Dashboards. Override the font size on gauges and the text box. The font settings for gauges are under Parameter Settings on the right side of the dashboard. You can adjust the font size for the caption, parameter value, and details. Scale to fit is checked by default. The text box font size setting is under Text Item Settings, and here too, Scale to fit is checked by default. Calibration Detail and Trending Reports now have the option to hide unused calibrations. When Hide Unused Cals is unchecked, unused calibrations are included in the generated report. Calibration Trending Report, adding weekly PS9. The calibration type drop-down now includes S Weekly PS9 as an option. MATS Performance Summary Report now has a deviation section. In 7.6, the Show Sections drop-down includes deviation. You can also choose to show the total source time for deviations in the report period. MAT CMS Deviations Events Report, comment checkbox. It's now checked by default. In previous versions of StackVision, the Show Comments box was unchecked, and in StackVision 7.6, it is now checked. Group Report Generator now allows access to StackVision when the generator is open. If the report generator window is open, you're still able to access other features in StackVision, including reports. You're also able to access other windows like dashboards. Preview features. Persist the flag states when the client restarts. Preview feature selections are now saved per user. So if you close and reopen StackVision, your settings will be saved. CalLab, adding PS9 calibrations. To enable PS9, go to Tools, Preview Features, and check the CalLab PS9 Enable PS9 option in the Create wizard while editing in CalLab. When you open the Calibration wizard, you'll see the PS9 option. PS9 calibration types include daily, monthly, quarterly, and weekly. Once the PS9 calibration is created, it will display in CalLab. MATS 2.0. Add new sequence type beam intensity checks. The new beam intensity check displays in the CalLab wizard. In StackStudio, the new calibration type displays as B, beam intensity check, on the Calibration Sequences tab. In the calibration trending and calibration detail reports, you can select daily beam intensity check from the calibration type dropdown. Alarm messages allow multiple lines within the email body. In StackStudio alarm messages, the email body and the return to normal email body now allow multiple lines of text. Alarm pop-up messages are now consistent with active alarms. If the return to normal date time is within one interval of the last modification date, there will be an alarm pop-up. Alarms that are ongoing will continue to pop up, and system and application alarms are not affected. New security role, DataLab deviation. Deviation now displays in user accounts roles under Part 75. After an upgrade, it will be unchecked by default for all existing roles. After new install, it's checked by default for the plant user role. In DataLab, deviation is under Fields, Part 75. MATS PM tests, UI changes. A warning will now display if you try to save a PM test that has overlapping runs. If you upgrade StackVision with existing overlapping runs, the warning will display when you edit the test and then try to save it. This applies to all PM tests. The SVA test now has the test result aborted. When the box is checked, the test result automatically updates. If you uncheck the aborted checkbox, the test result is automatically recalculated. Controller tools. New default calibration sequence. The sequence selection field is now blank, so you must manually select a sequence before the Start button takes effect. If you do not select a sequence, you will see this prompt after clicking Start. ProcessNow. New button to deselect all sequences. Instead of having to deselect ProcessNow sequences manually, you can now click the Deselect All button. ProcessNow Advanced. Change the default end, date, and time. When opening ProcessNow Advanced, the start and end dates now default to the previous day. The emissions EDR no longer includes hourly operating data that is outside of the official ozone season. In StackStudio, the frequency for ozone season reporting for the second and third quarters must be configured in the monitoring plan monitoring locations details. In this example, the hourly operating data starts on 5/1/2024 instead of 4/1/2024. Here are some of the ECMPS 2.0 changes we've made. The EPA has not decided when to release ECMPS 2.0, and there are no planned changes to the MATS reporting requirements for the initial release. All MATS related items have been removed from the reporting instructions. We've updated the MATS quarterly compliance UIs for manual deviations, unit information, and malfunctions. These are still beta features which need to be enabled under preview features. When opening quarterly compliance manual deviations, a landing page displays with the columns location, begin event, end event, deviation code, modified by, and last modified. Existing deviations will display in the center pane, and when you select a deviation, the details will display in the right side pane. Quarterly compliance, unit information, new user experience. When unit information opens, any existing records display with the location, year, and bypass parameter. When you select a unit information record, the details display on the right side. The tabs include Overview, Bypass Events, and Tune-ups. Quarterly compliance malfunctions, new user experience. Existing malfunctions display on the landing page with ID, year, quarter, location, and report in date. When you select a malfunction, the details display on the right side. Okay, let's move to the bugs. There are too many to go over in detail, so I've listed them out on the next 3 slides. If you need more information, please refer to the release notes. Oops. Okay, and that is it for the new features and bugs in StackVision 7.6. If you see any issues with the release, please notify support, either through email or a phone call. Are there any questions?
Feel free to throw any questions in the right-hand side panel on your screen. Give everyone just 1 minute. Well, thank you, Michelle, for the great presentation. If we have no questions, we appreciate everyone taking time out of their day to join us. Yes, this presentation will be available in the customer community. And if you don't have a customer community login, you can email support@escspectrum.com and they will set you up with a username and password. All right, Michelle, do you have anything else to add?
I don't. Thank you everyone for attending.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest